Hello, welcome. How much time do you spend in your car? I was thinking about this because I'm in the car a lot now. I do drive, and this is my other day job. But I remember driving back and forth to Fort McMurray. I lived in Edmonton. I used to work the mega projects, and we added up the time that we would spend at home in our house, you know, in our own beds. And we would add up the time we were working. We'd add up the time that we were driving. And when we were riding the buses back and forth, or even the driving part in our own vehicle. When we were doing the 11 and threes, I think it was, we were spending more time in our car than we were at home. Like I only came up with that because at the time I had a young family and I was working like crazy to buy a house and get kid things. Kids are expensive. Make the money for the kids, make the money for living 21st century world. The time I used to add up the time I would work versus the time I was home. You know, because if what's important to you, you should be spending the most time on, right? I heard that in a seminar at some point, right? You should be working on something that's important to you. And to me at the time, like the family was the most important thing. And I was adding up hours of work and I was adding up hours I was home and I was like, this is backwards, right? And I got myself into a negative funk about that. And just for and because I like driving, you know, I added up how much time I spent in the car versus how much time I spent at home. And it turns out I was spending time everywhere else except at home, even though I considered, being at home important. Even when I was working a regular 40-hour job, 40-hour work week job, and not ridiculous construction hours, I was adding up the time spent away from home, in the car driving, at the job jobbing, and none of it ever really, added up. And I really, well, I got into a negative spin about that because I'm like, it's even worse now. The pay wasn't that great back then. Construction was good. It was good money. Probably the best money, most money I ever really earned in a go. But after stopping doing that and going out and getting regular jobs, I was like, how do people work for this much money? Like, how do they live? Like, really, seriously. Like spending all that time at a job should pay for you to be at home. It shouldn't be paying for you to be at work. That's my thinking on it. Interesting little facts. How much time do you spend in your car? On your work commute in the morning, on your long haul drive to your job. You know, do you end up spending more time in your car than you do at home? Interesting to think about. Like and subscribe.